Hi guys! So today I'm going to be doing my September book haul. Now in the month of September I honestly thought that I didn't acquire too many books, but then the books just kept rolling in and in and in, and suddenly I was left with a ridiculous amount of books, which is such a change from August where I only hauled 3 books. I don't know how this happened. I have a problem. I need help. But let's just get into the books I have to show you because I have so many exciting books to show you. The first book I have to show you is The Thousandth Floor by Katharine McGee, and I was sent this book in exchange for a honest review by HarperCollins. Now I requested this book not thinking too much of it. I thought it sounded interesting, but honestly I wasn't too sure if I would like it or not. I just thought it would be an interesting read. It's kind of described as Gossip Girl set in a futuristic world, sci-fi stuff like that. And honestly, that's something that really doesn't appeal to me, but for some reason I requested it anyway, and I read it and I loved it. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I've already spoken so much about it on my channel already, and I've done a book review of it, so you should totally go check that out. There will be a link in the description for it, so go watch my review of it. But I really enjoyed this book. It was so surprising to me. I didn't expect to love it, but I totally did. It was such maybe a guilty pleasure read of mine, but just it made me so happy, and it was just such a fun read. After that I got a book that I'm super excited about, and you can probably kind of tell already. It is Replica by Lauren Oliver. Look, the orange side and the pink side. This is a book that I really don't know too much about, but it was just so hyped and I was so excited for it that I just had to request it. I honestly have no idea which side I should read first because I think this book is 2 stories, but they all come together. I'm not sure, and there are different multiple ways of reading it. So if you've read it and you think you know the best way to read it, please let me know because I really want to read it the best way that you can. And I know you can just read it any way you want to, but I'd like to read it in the best possible way. I have no idea what this book is about, but I'm super excited to read it, and I just love the different covers and everything like that, and oh, I'm just so excited for it. After that, I went to a little festival that our town was holding, and they had this little library where you could take books for free. So I ended up taking 3 books. I ended up taking Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte because even though I'm not much of a classic reader myself, Wuthering Heights has always intrigued me ever since really Twilight, to be honest. Sorry about it, not sorry, but I've always kind of been intrigued since then about it, and I thought for free, why not pick it up, and if I'm ever in the mood to read it, then I will have it. I then picked up Looking for Ella Brandy by Melina Machado. I really don't know too much about this book, but I know it's a young adult novel, one of the first young adult novels I believe, when young adult wasn't much of a thing back then, but I thought for free I would pick it up and see what I thought of it myself. The last book I got from there was White Horse by Alex Adams. To be honest, I have no idea what this book is about, but the title really intrigued me because I love horses, but it kind of looks like a psychological thriller, scary book. I'm not really too sure though, but I kind of want to go into it blindly, so I'm not going to look up what this book is about, but let me know in the comments below if you've read it and if you enjoyed it by the off chance if you have read it. Then my friend Alex over at Zombie Booktuber completely spoiled me and got me Empire of Storms by Sarah J Maas. I can't go into what this book is about because it is the 5th book in the Throne of Glass series, I believe. I think it's the 5th book. I've read it though. I really enjoyed it. I love the Throne of Glass series. I'm pretty sure you guys know what it's all about, but thank you so much, Alex, for getting me this baby. Got a little bit hurt in my handbag, but that's okay because I finally finished it this month and it took so long to get through, but it was so worth it. After that, I was sent this book from a publisher. I can't remember who the publisher was, and I will have to look that up for when I do a review of it, if I do, because I was sent this unsolicited. I requested another kind of thriller book off them, so they sent me this book because I thought I might be interested in it, but it's Strangers by Paul Finch. It says, as PC Lucy Cableburn is about to find out, going undercover is the most dangerous work there is. Lucy must step into the line of fire, a stranger in a criminal underworld that butchers anyone who crosses the line, and unknown to Lucy, she's already treading it. I don't know, it sounds interesting. I've really never heard of this author before, but if I'm ever in the mood to read it, I most certainly will, and I'll let you know guys know what I think of it, I guess, if you're interested. I don't know. After that, I got a book that I'm kind of excited about, kind of skeptical about, but anyway, I think like I'll be excited to read it and see what I think of it because I've read the House of Night series by this author, and I really enjoyed the House of Night series until like it got to like book 3 or 4, and then it just went too much for me, and I still have dreaded memories about that book series, but I still wanted this book anyway, and it is Moonchosen by PC Cast. This is an arc, and I'm actually doing a blog tour of this with Pan Macmillan next month, so you will see my review being posted on a certain date in November. I can't remember which date that is, but you will see because it will be out on that day, so I'm super excited about it. But this book is apparently about a world where humans and their animal allies and the earth itself has been drastically changed. It's a fantasy world, and apparently it follows a girl named Maria who is an earth walker, heir to the unique healing powers of her clan, but she has cast her duties aside until she is chosen by a special animal ally. Now sadly this is an ARC version of the book, but look how gorgeous the cover is of it. I don't know if you can tell, but it's really pretty, so I'm sad that I got the ARC version of it, but still cool I guess, because like it's an ARC and I hardly ever get ARCs of books, so I think this is cool to have. So I'm super excited to read this one soon. And then, yes I know, we've still got a big bundle of books to go through. I told you this got out of control this month. I don't know how it happened, but I got it was Upside Down but Swarm by Scott Westfield, Margot Langan, Deborah Paganini. Oh my gosh, how many times did I butcher just those authors' names? I'm so sorry. But it is a second book to Zeros, which I really enjoyed. I was actually sent this book in exchange for an honest review by Alan and Unwin because I read Zeros and I loved it, so I was totally on board with reading this one. Obviously can't tell you about this one because it will spoil stuff, but the first book, Zeros, follows these I think it's 6 or 7 unlikely superheroes, and it's a really fun read. I really enjoyed my time reading it, so I'm super excited for this one. Apparently comes out Wednesday the 28th of September, so it is already out if you are interested in it, and I will be doing a book review of this soon, hopefully. And then I have a very exciting book here to show you. Even though I haven't even read the first book, I still requested the second book, Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I was sent this book by Hatchet in exchange for an honest review, and I just had to request it even though I haven't read Six of Crows yet, because I have read the first book, Shadow and Bone by her, and I really enjoyed it. So this is, I believe, a U-series Six of Crows, but I think it's set in the same world, and so I actually borrowed Six of Crows from Alex, and so I could read this one, so then I could do a review of this one for you guys. But I'll totally buy my own copy of Six of Crows soon. I just had to request this book anyway, but I'll be reading this super shortly and let you know my thoughts of it, because I can't wait to read this series, and I think it's going to be totally fun because I get to marathon these 2 books now. After that I went to the op shop, which is kind of like, I think you call it thrift shopping in America, and we call it op shopping here in Australia. Not sure what you would call it anywhere else, but I went to the op shop to actually find some books for my friend, but there I found also some books for myself, and I mean, what was I gonna do? Not pick them up? No, that would be silly. Of course I picked them up. So I picked up Major Bastiga's Last Stand by Helen Simpson. I have no idea what this book is about. I believe it's an adult romance book, but the cover just looked really interesting, and I thought when I was in the mood to read something like this, I would. After that I found Scott Westerfield's Leviathan, which is apparently book 1 in, I think it's a steampunky series by Scott Westerfield, and I haven't really heard too much about this series. I've read the Ugly series by him. I don't know how I still feel about that series. It's very mixed still for me, but I really liked Zeros, so when I saw it there, it was like $2. I wasn't going to pass it up. I thought I would read it, and if I wasn't a big fan, it didn't matter because I bought it for $2. Please let me know though if you have read this book and what you thought of it, and if I should be picking it up soon or if I should wait a bit. After that I got A Teaspoon of Earth and Sea, A Bewitching Tale of Family and Fate by Diana Maria. This is again another book that I found that I was just picked up just for the cover because the cover was really nice and intriguing. I have no idea what this book is about. I mean, the cover was gorgeous. I think it's an adult, maybe family romance. I have no idea. It says, a teaspoon of earth and sea is told in a bewitching voice that mingles the rhythms of Eastern storytelling with straightforward Western prose to tell a wholly original story about the importance of controlling your own fate. It does sound really interesting, and I'm super excited to read it when I do. And again, like $2–3, I wasn't gonna pass it up, and I just really like this cover too. And then we have a book that I was so excited to get, and it was Three Dark Crowns by Kendra Blake. I loved Anna Dressed in Blood by this author, and when I had the chance to get this review by Pan Macmillan, who kindly sent this to me, I jumped on it and they sent it to me, and I am loving it. I'm currently reading it. We've only got a little bit to go, so expect a review of this soon, but it's so good. It follows these 3 sisters, and one of them is destined to be queen. The other 2 will die though by the hands of the new queen. So these 3 sisters are put up against each other to kill each other, and the one that's last standing will become queen. As I said, I'm really loving it so far, and I can't wait to do a review of it when I have read it. After that, I got Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glassagro. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Kathleen. But I was sent this book by HarperCollins. I requested this book because my friend Alex read it and loved it, and it sounded really interesting, and I've read it. I'll be doing a review of it shortly, but I also really enjoyed this book. It follows a girl who self-harms and is not having a very good time in life. It's very raw and enriching, and I think it's a very important book, a book that we don't really deal much on the subject of in YA. And as I said, I will be doing a review of it shortly, but look out for it because I really enjoyed this one. We've finally come down to the last two books of this haul, and that is Heartless by Melissa Moira. Now, I was sent this book by Pam Macmillan. I'm doing a blog tour with them next month. But guys, look how it was sent to me, and I thought I would unwrap it here on camera because I just had to show you how this was presented. So I haven't opened this yet, so let's see. But like, props to Pam Macmillan for sending this like this way because it's so pretty. Oh! It is of course an arc of Heartless, and it is by Marissa Meyer, who is of course the author of Cinder, and I believe it is a Alice in Wonderland retelling maybe of the Queen of Hearts. I can't remember, but I'm super excited to read this book. I've heard so many good things, and yeah. Finally, the last book I was sent was Spontaneous by Aaron Starmer. I think I was sent this book by Harper, but I can't exactly remember currently. But I was super excited to get this because apparently it's a really funny read, and it also came with my first book swag, which is this, which is apparently a poncho, because reading this book may blow your mind. So you use the poncho for protection against possible splatter, rinse and repeat when needed. This is the first ever book swag I've gotten when receiving a book, so I was super excited about that. And apparently it's just a really fun read. So my camera stopped filming because my SD card was full, but as I was saying, this book comes up on October 2016. I also thought it would be fun to open this poncho on camera to see what it looks like. Let's see. It just looks like a yellow plastic bag. Oh my gosh, this is huge. Should I put it on? Let's put it on. This is actually a legit poncho. Like, I guess if I ever need a poncho, now I have one. But I don't know, I just think that this is totally cool that this book came with book swag, and maybe it deals with like murder and death. I think it deals with like people blowing up in her high school or something like that. But at least I can be protected when reading this, wearing this swaggy poncho. I mean, I look swag, right? Well, that was an experience. But yeah, these are all the books that I received in the month of September, and it's kind of crazy. I don't know how it happened, but it happened. I was trying to be so good this month, but as I said, they just kind of kept coming and coming, and they didn't stop. Let me know in the comments below what you're most excited for, what I should read next, and what you got in the month of September, what your favorite read or what you got was. Mine is definitely Three Dark Crowns. I'm just so excited for it, and I'm just loving it so far. Anyway, I'm gonna go, so like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more book related videos to me, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye!